Let's join them. Okay, go ahead. We are ready.
Yeah, Mazi Alozie, good afternoon from Poland here. Yeah, this is Mazi, okay. And I am from Omaka. Omaka is in a local province of Biafra land, that Ebiri, the win. Our leader still remains one and only Mazi Nnamdi, Kanu. That remembers Ocean Ogupezu and Oyinatumbuzu. We are here once again. We appreciate you and all his lieutenant doing wonderfully well. Men and women of all radicals all over the world. We will continue to appreciate all of you in your different fields. Today is Tuesday again. This is the Ipob media. We are once again here to look into matters both international and locally that is affecting us. And we will continue to debunk the lie that peddling. But before we go on, Biafrans all over the world, we appreciate what you are doing. Everybody now is doing his own way, capacity. Because I said, okay. And if anybody says what we are doing is not entering, you ask yourself the following questions. Today, where is Lai Mohammed? Where is Adeshina? Where is the Vice President of Sibanjo? To the people we are facing in like we need to BBC and the professor in America, Mazi Alozie, can testify. But this is Lai Mohammed who called us all sorts of them. Obasanjo called us miscreant. Lai Mohammed said, IPO that these people they don't sleep, and all of them fighting for this other below 50 years. Today we are here again to debunk every lie that peddling against us. Most importantly, the unconditional release of our leader, especially now that his condition is worsening. We have about 4 topics to do today. With me here today's panel, my fellow comrades, all of us are here today. Biafra Evangelist Madam Chumwachideke is here. George Money is here. Wada Chalogo is here. Wada Giro is here. Mazi Alozie is here. And Patrick Ikem. All these are everywhere. Very big media people. All of us are here today to look into these matters. So number one topic we are going to look now is Mazi Nnamdi and his worsening conditions. This is what we are going to. This is number one topic we are going to look into. I have to bring in our beloved brother and colleague, Mazi Evangelist Madam Chineke. Mazi Evangelist Madam, you can hear me. If you can hear me, please unmute yourself and we start and we move according to you. The platform is just yours now. 5 minutes, please.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, fellow Biafrans all over the world. I remain the fearless IPOB evangelist, Mazi Alozie. I am from Ndiabo. Ndiabo is in Aninri. Aninri is a local government in Ojiriva province, Biafra land. I am in Biafra land. Thank you. Okay, let us go to the first topic as you have raised the issue surrounding the illegal detention of Mazi Nnamdi by the Nigerian DSS. You know, initially when they brought our leader here from Kenya illegally, as it stands today, our leader is technically in Kenya, right? Then they told us that our leader would defend himself in court. And they expected us to go in violence as if IPOB have been into any violence for any time. But we insisted that our peaceful means, it remains our stand. And today, they have failed. In these very court victories that we are standing on today or holding on strongly today, people should remember that we were intimidated in the court's premises by Nigerian security agencies, but we endured all these things. They should also remember that Fulani terrorists, they came to the court premises with cascades. They wrote what insisted that as they say it will end in court, then we continue in their court. Despite the enemies that told us that we cannot secure victory in our presence court, we told them that we are Ipob. We have not, nobody can compare us with any other. We insisted in the court, and today we have secured these court victories, which they want to kill Nnamdi Kanu upon these court victories. But before I go on this very one, I will remind the world, because Nigerians also and the world should know what we are asking for free Nnamdi Kanu. We are not begging. We are standing on court rulings. But I want to ask them, from these court judgments that Nnamdi Kanu has secured, which one do they want to obey? I'll start from 2015, because this is records that we have kept. I want them to tell us which one do they want to obey, and the reason why they are keeping Nnamdi Kanu and why they poisoned him. One is the start of Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally in the presence of Labran by Justice Ademola of the Federal High Court Abuja, December 2015. DSS rearrested Nnamdi Kanu again, not to bail, unconditional release, and they returned Mazi Alozie back to DSS custody. People should hear us and know what we are saying, because we know what we are saying. Maybe you pretend you don't know, but we know. Now, and they said he must face his charges, and we continued with them. As always, Ipob believes in legality, right? Then we continue with them. They took the case to the court of Justice John Soro. John Soro looked into this matter. At the end, John Soro discharged Mazi Alozie unconditionally. DSS rearrested Nnamdi Kanu and returned him back to Kuje. That time he was in Kuje. We know why we are reminding them. Now, they took Mazi Alozie to the court of the refusal. They continued in another court. People should be counting it too. They took our leader to the court of Justice Ahmed Mohammed, a Fulani man. The Ahmed Mohammed told one DSS that they should stop bringing this kind of case in this honorable court, and instructed them or directed them to go and obey the previous court rulings. What are those court rulings? The ruling of Justice Ademola and the ruling of Justice John Soro. That's what Ahmed Mohammed was directing DSS to go and obey. They insisted. They took the case to the court of Bill Tanyako. We know why we are counting this one by one. Bill Tanyako, upon in her bias, upon these court discharges, she granted a high conditional bail, and we fulfilled all the court bail conditions. And then Nnamdi Kanu, waiting for his date of court, Nigerian government came to kill him with their army. The bail they granted to Nnamdi Kanu gave birth to the proscription of Ipob in Nigeria. If not for bail, nothing will warrant them to do so. But in order to shut us up, because they killed us, they want to tag us terrorists to cover their crimes on their python bands, they tag us terrorists. This very bail on Nnamdi Kanu, which why we are kicking against bail, brought to the recovery of 7 graveyards in the bushes in Biafra land upon the from the actions of the python dance Nigerian army. This very bail to Nnamdi Kanu brought to the killing of 28 men in his compound. This very bail to Nnamdi Kanu brought to the defiling of the palace in Igbo land. This very bail given to Nnamdi Kanu, people should note it down, brought to the massacring of over 1,500 Biafra youths in the name of python dance. That is why we say no to bail. Now, again, we continued. This very extraordinary edition of Nnamdi Kanu, we have secured court rulings again. They said he jumped bail. We went to the jurisdiction that have the power to look into the case of jumping bail. Umaya State High Court, right? And on the 19th of January 2022, that very court gave its verdict, and they said that Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail, that he escaped military assassination attempt, which is to say, all those allegations that Malami has been presenting to the world, that Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail, he ran away. Nigerian court have tried it out, and even ordered them to pay him compensation compensation of 1 billion and apologize to him and meet him and discuss what he is talking about. Now we continued upon the disobey all these things. None have been obeyed, and we have not forgotten the violation of the fundamental human rights of Nnamdi Kanu, in which we secured rulings on his favor in Bin Danyako's court. None of these ones have been obeyed. Giving him his eyeglass and some other things, none have been obeyed. Then we continued. UN brought report to free Nnamdi Kanu and gave order for immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu. June 2022, they refused. We continued to appeal court. We went to appeal court, reaching to 13th of October 2022. Appeal court discharged Nnamdi Kanu and acquitted him, and the order that he should not stand any trial in any court in Nigeria. Then Nigeria disobeyed. Malami came up openly. No, this one is not DSS. Malami, Attorney General, an appointee, came up and said they will not obey court order. Malami appointee. Then we continued. We went to Federal High Court Umuahia again on the 26th of October 2022. Mazi Alozie was discharged, and the court also ordered that he should be returned back to Kenya. Now, none have been obeyed. Today, upon these very court victories, they are denying him his medications, they are denying him access to his doctor, they refuse to take him to his doctor, they refuse to listen to his complaints concerning his health condition. When these things happened under torture, and he's complaining, they want him to die. And the worst part is the poison they gave to him, that when he lies down, everything he ate will be gushing out from his mouth. Then what we are asking Nigerians and those that are contributing in the continuous destruction of Nnamdi Kanu, what exactly do you want from Nnamdi Kanu? What exactly? Because from day 1, 2015, you started kidnapping him. He has secured not less than at least 7 court victories. 7 court victories for Justice Ahmed Mohamed to refer DSS to go and obey previous court rulings. That means that Justice Ahmed Mohamed also discharging Nnamdi Kanu because he was standing on the court rulings. That is to say, he himself, if that case is in his court, he will also discharge it. So how many court victories do they want us to secure before they allow Nnamdi Kanu to go home? This time around, Nnamdi Kanu must be freed. It is not something you go and take or something. We are not standing on initial stand of free Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. No, this one is now based on court rulings. Court by Nigerian courts. This court is not a Ghanaian court, not to Togo this court, not to Niger court. These are Nigerian courts. And if Nigeria cannot obey their own court orders, that is to say, every victims of Nigerian Federal High Court, victims of Nigerian Appeal Court, victims of Nigerian State High Court, all of them should be apologized to and paid compensation to, because you cannot say you will accept this very court ruling and be coming to these very people and you will not obey court ruling. So that is what I want to drop here, that people should understand that going to court further has no meaning, or dreaming to take Nnamdi Kanu to any other place has no meaning. You have been taking him to courts, Nigerian courts, and we have been winning you. He has been winning you from 2015 till today. Nigeria should be ashamed. That is why when I see some people gossiping, I ask them, can Nigeria defeat Nnamdi Kanu? The answer is no. We have been in their courts. About 7 court victories we have secured from 2015 till today. None have been obeyed. And I ask them, what can Nigeria do to Nnamdi Kanu apart from poisoning him? So they must free him. The world should listen to us and know that we have the right to do anything we want to do, because we have every court rulings of Nigeria have been disobeyed by Nigerian government. None have been obeyed. So I'll be dropping it here and allow others to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nigel. Thank you, beloved. We are taking a record. They don't know how prepared we are. Anyway, it's okay. That money, please, beloved, but I partake. You're welcome. We can partake. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, very much, maybe. Go on. 5 minutes, please.
All right. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you and I welcome you to this awareness and our grief, and to actually our grievances about the treatment we are receiving from Nigeria And in this time around, we are actually doing a campaign for the unconditional release of Mazi Alozie. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is George Money, and I am actually one of the voice of the indigenous people of Biafra, and we will continue to push this gospel until we restore our land of Elohim in the face of this planet Earth. And we are praying that we may be, part of this generation that will, open the gate of Biafra life. And so shall it be. I greet you and I welcome you to this program. It is true that we have a situation whereby the DSS, of course, my fellow comrade, he said it all about the activities of the DSS and their inhuman treatment on Mazi Alozie and Biafra in general. It is already, obvious and plain to see that the Nigeria state does not obey the justice system which they put in place, and which Constitution of Nigeria says that the justice system, which is the judiciary, is supposed to be independent, not supposed to be, rather. It is independent, and when they give a court ruling, the Nigeria executive decided to flout that order because it concerns Biafra and it concerns this particular region that must be marginalized, that must be killed, according to the Nigeria oligarchy or Nigeria, feudal system of government. So, in this regard, it came to our notice that our leader, Mazi Alozie, has been poisoned, which so many people came up to actually argue that, and with the report that we received, we analyzed that report and we find out that it could only be poison that will cause those conditions coming up suddenly. Because the condition we know that our leader has is the heart condition, and which they have not given him a proper treatment. He is not receiving adequate treatment from a professional. So in this regard, we are still clamoring on that. We are still crying about that, all to see that they have poisoned our leader. So many people may argue, or the DSS may, of course, they haven't come and made a statement, media statement with regards to that, because what we are saying is the truth. They don't even know who will come and make that statement, because they are ignorant. We are running on a banana republic where judiciary's opinion does not matter, where the opinion of ordinary people on the ground does not matter. At the end of this speech, I am also going to suggest what we might do in order to call the attention of these people called Nigeria and the world. So in this regard, our leader is suffering in the detention, which he is being held illegally in a solitary confinement when the court of Nigeria has declared him discharged and acquitted, and he cannot stand any trial in any court in Nigeria, which was the verdict given in the 13th of October by the competent court of jurisdiction. So, and then the federal government led by Malam, because when you talk about federal government, you're supposed to be referring to executive. When you look at the executive, you find out it is group of cabals that, do what they want. There is nobody is going to be held to account. These people, they do what they want. There is no way you will stand up to challenge them, because they are holding everybody captive. And that captivity chain is what we are here to break. And we will surely break it, because it has become very imperative that our people know their problem, and their problem is these people who are, you call your leader. These ghost leaders that we are, we have, they are no leaders. These people are dictators. And not only dictators, these people are, they are tyrants. Very, very wicked set of people. That is the reason why, in this condition of our leader, having seen they have poisoned him, we have been lamenting. They want to tell us to do your work. Because this is exactly what they did in 1960 when they started killing our people. And the next thing they did is to, they behave in a manner that we should do our work. But we are more intelligent and diplomatic than them. The only way we can actually create this awareness is our people need to come out to the street and protest for the release of our leader. It will be a nationwide protest. That is my suggestion. If any security operatives actually come to attack any of these peaceful protesters, then we burn Nigeria down. That is the only thing we can. That is the only way we can. We will embark on a peaceful protest worldwide, nationwide rather. If any security operatives come to attack these people, we burn Nigeria down. It is a self-defense. Because in America, everybody has a right of protest. In the United Nations, it is a right of everybody. Freedom of expression is a right of everybody. Freedom of speech is a right of everybody. Which is now, it is something that is not allowed in Nigeria. But we are going to, exercise it if we want our leader to be released. Because if we say now, let us go and burn down Nigeria, it will come back to us. Because this international community, what they are looking for, because some of them are complicit, some of them have received bribe from the Nigeria. So the only thing they are looking for, what will IPOB do in a scenario like this? Just like our great comrade, our Mazi Alozie said, that, they are looking for, they have been asking, what will you do in a scenario like this? If you look for Nnamdi Kanu and you don't see him, we are not going to actually wait for that time, because we have seen that they have poisoned our leader. Whether it is a food poison or whether it is a food poison, hello, whatever poison it is, yes.
Hello? Stop mute, man. Man, stop mute, please. Because send me a number you are adding. This one, Patrick. Okay, I will do that. Okay, please. Yeah, I'll do that, man. Go on. Get money, continue.
So whatever poison, we don't care about the type of poison they have actually given to our leader. All we are calling for is to release our leader unconditionally. Just like the court of competent jurisdiction has actually cleared him up. They must release him. Because if we actually keep quiet, these people will be doing this, and they will kill our leader. And the next thing it will result. Any place where there is a war, both sides suffer. And if anything happened to our leader, it is indeed that both sides will suffer. So, but is to avoid that, we are calling for unconditional release of our leader, and we are calling our people to actually take onto the street and actually, create awareness. Call for the release of Ahmadike. If any security operatives raise any gun against anybody, that is when we have the right. Now we are now coming to, the World Terrorist Index, which we're taking it one after the other, please. Gentlemen, we'll get there, please. All right. So, yeah, thank you. All right. So, in this regard, if we do what we have to do to release our leader, which the court has released already, it is as a result of these ignorant people who does not want to obey the court order. Just like Malami, we need to actually show them that we are the people, and in this democratic dispensation, power belongs to the people, and power is for the people. And the Garba Shehu also, which is the one running Aso Rock, the group of Kabas in Aso Rock running it, we need to prove to these people that power belongs to the people and power is given by the people. When these same people, they are actually calling to come and vote for them, to do them a favor and give them vote, place them into the power that they may oppress us again. Let us use that opportunity. The rally for vote, we use it to demand for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because he has committed no crime known to any law of any organization, fraternity, or any nation across the world. Thank you very much. I will leave it here.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Thank you. Before I go to Wada Chalugo, please, this is directed to all our broadcasters, our bloggers, IPOB blog, all of you. Please, we will continue to direct your listeners to tweet our press releases. Our press release from our IPOB official website is very, very important. All our broadcasters, please take note of this. It's very, very important. Direct your listeners to tweet our press releases from IPOB official press release, and today is our Tweet Tuesday. Biafrans all over the world, you know what to do. I know you know what to do. Continue to tweet now. You know what to tweet. Our topic here, or you follow other words, all of them. Go to Twitter. You can be retweeting. Continue to retweet. Today is our day. Please, the platform is what you know. 5 minutes. Speak in any dialect, but missing. Thank you, Wanda.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Depending on your location, my name is Wada Achalugo. Achalugo Nemwara Digoroja Adamazi Nnamdi Kanu. My people, I greet each and every one of you today. Today we are talking about the health condition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the present health condition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You know, if you come to Nigeria today, a well-reasonable Nigerian knows what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for. A well-reasonable Nigerian, whether Fulani or whether Hausa or whether Yoruba, they all know what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is representing. And the Nigerian government holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, claiming that they are not going to release him. Okay, on top of the whole issues, they poisoned him. They think that we are going to let them hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and we will move on with all these things that doesn't matter in Biafra land or in Nigeria. We are not going to allow them to do that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the mouthpiece of all the whole Igbos, all the whole Biafrans, even including Oduduwa, even Fulani, Hausa people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the only person speaking in their favor. So, Nigerian government, they have done the worst mistake of holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And again, I don't know the problem of Nigerian government. I don't really know what they want. Did they think that holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to make all of us to run inside and stop campaigning for Biafra freedom or a release of Mazi Nnamdi? I don't just get it. Did they think that once they hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that everything about Biafra is going to die off? Okay, they hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Their own courts have discharged and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yet they are still holding him. Holding him that they are not going to release him. Have you seen in a country where they disobey their own courts? It is only in Nigeria. I keep saying this. When you come to Nigeria, as far as Nigeria is concerned, trust to nothing. Trust nothing in Nigeria. There is nothing good that will ever come out from Nigeria. Someone that is discharged and acquitted, Nigerian state is still holding him captive. Okay, I think that one is not enough. They poisoned him. Anyway, there is no problem. But they are now challenging us. What they mean now is that we are not going to do anything, that we cannot do anything. They are now challenging us. So my question today to Nigerian government, to Fulani government is, what exactly did they want from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What exactly? What is the offense of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Can these people come out and tell us his offense? Somebody that their own court have discharged and acquitted, they are still holding him. Can they come out and tell the whole world what they want from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? If we can give it to them, then we give it to them. Because we don't, I can't just understand. They keep torturing this man. Okay, they went from Nigeria to Kenya to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and brought him down to Nigeria. Okay, somebody got an na Nigeria, akpọpụta ya na court. Ọkwa atry ya after ka emechara ihe niile, his own trial over, a discharge as in a release there or Galo. Why are they still holding him after they have discharged him and acquitted him? So what am I trying to say in essence? What I am saying today is they should allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to go now that he is still breathing. Now that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still looking at us. Because it's going to be another story if tomorrow, if we wake up and hear that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no more breathing. It's not going to be as a child's play. We're not going to take it lightly with Nigeria Fulani government. We are not going to take it from them at all. Now that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still talking, they should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to us. Because their own courts, they have discharged him and acquitted him. When we are talking about the meaning of discharge, so many people know the meaning of discharge and acquitted. So I don't want to go into details to explain the meaning of discharge and acquitted. They know the meaning and they need to do the needful. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he did not commit any offense. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for his own right. So many of us today in Nigeria that we are talking today is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that made it possible. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made us to know our rights. Okay, look at today in Nigeria. Nobody is speaking. Nobody is doing anything. They say that they are going to stop dishing out old naira. Yet, if you go to Nigerian bank, there is no new naira. So, how is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now their problem?
Like what you rightly said now. But do you know that ISWAP, this is their new money is in the north, in the house of ISWAP, that is given to their people. And what you are saying here, Pontius Pilate, and then I got church, the Nigeria court, the judges, we applaud them. How you know, Nigeria don't know what is coming for them. And a man has his way, woman has her way. What happened in the video? The children, I know I wonder by Honorable Mako, who walk at my option, the men are from the enemy who are men as Yamada Bonia Softas Abia. You might have wondered by chicken, I wonder by one way they're gone. I took me to the topic. But here in our people don't have a name to know what is happening. The money is in circulation there. The tax is, by the way, go on, my sister, and round up. Let us move to another person. Very well.
Okay.
Go on.
Thank you so much, Mazi. So, what am I trying to say in conclusion? What I am saying today is that Fulani government, they should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditional. Now that his health, his health is no more, he's no more with his health. He said that he may die, that he is afraid that he may die. Because they are denying him his rights. They are denying him everything. How can you expect somebody that is not alright to stay without taking his drugs? Okay, the ones that they are giving him, they are abusing the drugs on him. Drugs that he's supposed to take for 2 weeks, they are giving it to him only 8 days. Who does that? Only 8 days. Drugs that is made for 2 weeks, they are giving it to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for 8 days for him to die off. So if Nigerian government, if they are tired of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if they are tired of him staying with them in that DSS, they should allow him to go. They should allow him to go.
They are kidnapping him now. Our the leadership bought 1 million. How much does Nnamdi Kanu eat in a day? So they know what they are doing and they'll get it.
No,
when it will happen.
Before they get what they are looking for, they should give us Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because the Fulanis, they don't matter. Fulanis, they should allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to go. Now that he is still breathing, him and our cooker, they think, we are not making the campaign now. People tomorrow, they will ask us who did we tell, who did we complain to. The whole world are listening to us now. Nigerian government, they should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to us, unconditional, because their own courts have discharged and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So we are still wondering why they are still holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They should allow him to go. So, in conclusion, let Nigerian government obey their own courts and allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to go. Ndewo Mazi.
Ndewo, thank you, my dear. 6 months a year giving has elapsed equally. So I didn't hold you during half your Ndewo. Our brother, Mazi Patrick, you are very much welcome. If he can speak, otherwise, Mazi Alozie could take over the platform.
Yes, okay, sorry, I was muted, sorry. Gentlemen, good afternoon. I want to thank you for bringing me on board. My name is Patrick Dike, and it's my pleasure to be here once again today, 31st of January 2023. And what we are discussing is issues that have to do with Biafran people, the issues that has to do with the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his trial and acquittal by Nigerian court, and where we have been so far. We've seen that at the end of the day, Nigeria continue to dig more hole for themselves. I remember when in 2015 that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was also detained. We know the kind of battle we fought. Many occasions they have acquitted him, they have released him, but the same Fulani, Buhari and the APC continue to break law and order to the point that even one judge was even raided after he gave judgment on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case. They raided his house, accused him of corruption and all that. They even had to bring their own judge, Justice Soho, Justice Soho, to give a judgment. At the end of the day, he was still, acquitted. And while he was still attending court, they carried Operation Python dance to his house, even while the case is still in court. That prompted him leaving Nigeria, to escape from that assassination attempt, and continued his program of enlightenment of Biafrans from the diaspora where he was. For years, we saw the kind of challenge they were giving him. If you are a man, come back home. If you say you be a man, come back home. If you say you are a man now, they went as far as by themselves going to kidnap him in Kenya.
Mazi Alozie, please, can you move to Mazi Alozie to
kidnap him in Kenya with the hope that they could prosecute his case.
It's okay now.
Now, several courts all over the world, including the United Nations, have given their verdict and have given their judgment. So many Nigerian courts have also given their judgment, exonerating him of any crime. Despite their effort to tag IPOB a terrorist organization, to tag IPOB as a terrorist organization, they have not even been able to prove their case of terrorism against IPOB. They've not been able to even, prosecute the leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who they accuse of leading a terrorist organization. Now, courts have acquitted him, and they are still holding him down. Not just one, not two, and the courts have even asked for compensation, not just acquittal, with compensation that has to be paid to him for the infringement of his rights. But these Fulani he-goats and animals continue to break court orders, continue to violate court orders consistently. And everybody living in that zoo seem not to be concerned. People are not even speaking up because it has to do with IPOB. It has to do with Igbos in Nigeria. Now, in recent time, we have heard that he has been poisoned, and people seem not to still call for his release. See, they have not even, the DSS themselves have not even come out to debunk that news or the allegation of poisoning of Mazi Kanu. For DSS not to come out to debunk or deny that accusation, it shows that that accusation continue to stand until proven otherwise. Now the question is,
Mazi party, they know I am in Amaka. They know that the media, all our eyes, Biafrans are very angered now. They know they cannot do it. You see, a lot of things are going. If you remember 2015, when the Zoological Republic, when they were asking Mazi to close this radio Biafra and continue his agitation, because they know the forces, they know the power of the media. They know that they cannot come and say anything. Now the anger, the tempo is very high, and they know that what we can look. We don't lie. We are Ipobians. Our intel don't, and the lawyer confirmed it. Even yesterday, everybody saw the press release. This is why we're telling our people to follow our press release. Tweet it. We continue to tweet our press release. They cannot come much. They cannot. I said, let them come up. We need them. Where is Lai Mohammed? Additional, where are they? Let them come up now. Let them come up. I house immediately.
That is what I'm saying. That they have not been able to come out to debunk this news and this allegation of poison. Unfortunately, people helping them to debunk the news or the allegation happens to be even people that are even supposed to be, that are supposed to join us to push this news. But that is a story for another day. But as long as DSS have not come out to debunk the news of the allegation of poisoning Mazi Kanu, which means it is true. It is true. They have not been able to come out to debunk some of the things that the lawyers are saying, that they are not giving him his adequate medication, which means it is true. So what else do we need? What else do the world need to know that the human right that America is championing, the human right that the European Union is championing, that the country that is their ally, the country that they consider as a country they want to remain one, has become a big time, full-time violator of human rights of the indigenous people of Biafra. And indigenous people, not just of Biafra, but all over the zoo called Nigeria. So, but the truth remains that, number one, we are happy that at the end of the day, they cannot hold anything against us. They cannot hold anything against Mazi Kanu. They have tried to prove their case unsuccessfully in their own court. And this is the reason they have now resulted to barbarism, trying to take the life of Mazi, because they have failed in every ramification. They thought they could jail him. They thought they could, sentence him to death, but they have failed. They could not prove their case. Now they have gone into the cheapest means of assassination. But one thing the zoo need to understand is that we are on top of the game. We are on top of the game in the sense that we have been able to prove our innocence before their own court and before the world. So if anything, for whatsoever reason, happens to Mazi Kanu, whatever action we take is going to be justified.
Of course.
It's going to be 100% justified. And I believe that Biafrans are not sleeping over this issue. We are hoping that in the next coming days, the Mazi Kanu will be released. The Mazi Kanu will return back to us. Because the zoo does not have any option. They don't have any other option than to release him. We don't even need to beg. We don't even need to plead with them any longer, because they have done the worst they can do. What is it that is left that they haven't done? They have done everything that needed to be done, and they have failed at each of their effort and attempt. So one thing we are sending as a clear message to this Buhari, Fulani government and Nigeria as a whole is that they should tread with caution, because we have already lost everything. We don't have any other thing to lose again. So whatever action, it is Nigeria that have everything to lose, not the Biafran people. Mazi, that is all I have to say. I want to say thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
My beloved. Thank you. Please, let's go to one day. After you, Mazi, let's go do this. We move to our second topic. Mazi Alozie, watching called me. I spoke with him now. So Chima, he's not coming on air today. That's the information. And then go on one that you
Good afternoon, great Biafrans. Good afternoon, Mazi Ekeroliki, lovers of freedom. Good afternoon to Mazi Alozie, the host. My name is Ejiro. I am an Urobo Biafran from Ogeli. Before I will start, I would like to remind the people of Nigeria about how great men who have their interests in heart have been killed brutally by the Nigerian government. The extraordinary rendition of Mazi Kanu and his illegal detention is a strategy of the Fulani to continue killing great men. But the case of Mazi Kanu is not going to be like others because we are IPOB. In this case, I have some questions that I would like to ask our audience who are listening to us right now. I want to know who killed Delegiwa. Delegiwa was killed by a parcel of letter bomb 2 days after he was interviewed by the Nigerian SSS. Just in this word, I said 2 days after he was interviewed by Nigeria SSS. Now, who killed Obadiah Malafia? Obadiah Malafia died recently, I think it was last year. He died last year, last year, 2022. This man came out and informed Nigerians about the Islamization agenda. He exposed how a sitting governor in the north is the direct commander of Boko Haram. To date, as we speak, the governor was not arrested. Instead, Obadiah Malafia was killed few weeks after his expose. These are things that I want people to start, pondering on the reason why they are still keeping Mazi Kanu. Now, I want to ask another question. Who killed Abiola? Abiola was killed after he won the 1993 presidential election. According to the former Zoological Republic head of state called, I think, Abu Salami Abubakar. Abiola was not seen by his family, they didn't allow his family to see him, but his doctor and lawyer, they were visiting him. This man claimed, the former head of state claimed there was a group of United States people who came from, they came from America demanding to visit Abiola in jail, but they were denied access. But he, as a sitting head of state then, he granted them access that they should allow this group of Americans to see Abiola. And he also revealed, that was an interview by Truth, I think Truth TV, yes. He revealed in that interview that Abiola fell sick after the American group left the jail. That was when Abiola fell sick. So the question is this. Who killed Abiola? Was Abiola sick before he was arrested? The answer is no. Was Abiola the choice of Nigerians? The answer is yes, because he won the election. Now, did he win the election in a landslide? The answer is yes, he won the election. So, why was he arrested and why did he have to die in jail? So, we have to start pondering on all these things, because before we start talking about the present, we must also go to the past so that people will understand what is happening and why these things are happening today. So it's like history is about to repeat itself, but in the case of IPOB, it's not going to repeat itself because we are going to put a stop to it. Mazi Kanu is not a toy. Mazi Kanu cannot be toyed or cannot be traded for any election or whatsoever. It cannot be traded. Mazi Kanu is bigger than Nigeria. So now I have another question that I want to ask them. What about Abu Salim from those states? Who killed him? Abu Salim was murdered literally, and his blood is upon the hands of Buhari, the late Buhari. I mean the one we are seeing today. They call him Buhari, but the late Buhari was the one that killed Abu Salim. His tribunal sent Abu Salim to 100 years in jail. Of course, they know that he cannot survive it, but they sent him to jail 100 years, and the man got blind in prison. Meanwhile, if you take a very good look at the history of Nigeria, in that very period when Abu Salim was sent to jail, there was a governor in the north whose name was, I think, Governor Alwa. He was caught in London with 14 million pounds. 14 million pounds and some dollars. But he kept this man under house arrest. There were 3 other people who were also under house arrest, who were accused of corruption. They were also under house arrest under Buhari's regime. All 3 they were all Muslims. It is only a Muslim does not have the right to be in jail. A Muslim does not have to go under what other people from the South are going through. When a Muslim commits a crime, Buhari will put them in a house arrest. This is why I said I must wake the consciousness of the people. I must remind them of what has been happening in that so-called country they called Nigeria. Today we are talking about Abba Kyari. Abba Kyari, who is wanted by FBI. Today, Abba Kyari, as we speak, he is in a house arrest. He is not in prison. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is a prisoner of conscience, whom the Nigeria court have acquitted and discharged, he is suffering. He has been poisoned by this same Nigerian government, because the fact that medication that is supposed to be taken for 2 weeks, you gave him the medication for 8 days. That means you want the person to die. You want the medication to destroy the cells of that person. So that is why they are trying to do that, so that in case anything happens to our leader, God forbid, they will not say he died a natural death. So we as a people, we will never take that. We will never allow Nigerian government to succeed in the case of Mazi Alozie. Take a look at our sister Igara Gold. The same thing. People in the north, they will commit crime, Boko Haram, they will commit some sort of crime, they kill people, they will bring them into their army and, reinstall them into the army, rehabilitate them. Thank you, Mazi. They will give them, some of them, they give them amnesty and all that. They become military, and they troop them into Biafra land to go and be killing the Biafran people, because that is their aim. But our sister Igara Gold, the young lady, suffering today because she was wearing an outfit of her country, which is a normal thing. There is nothing even in Nigeria law. There is nothing in their constitution that says it is prohibited to wear the color of Biafra. So this lady was adopted, and as we speak today, she is suffering. She is still in the DSS custody. And of course, we all know. So anyone who have a good intention in Nigeria, any man who rise up to do something for the people, to bring the change to the people, you will see that the Fulani government, they will set their eyes on that person, they will make sure they frustrate that person, or if possible, they will kill that person, or they will eliminate that person by using, either they use your own people to carry out that eradication, or they will do it by putting you in jail, so that they will, from there, they can be able to eliminate you. Now, we know also about the activities of Abu Salim. This man is a man that his people, they love him. He was doing well. He built over 600 secondary school in Edo State, and he did a lot of good road infrastructure and all that. But the Nigerian government, they accused him of mismanaging 980 million. But in fact, a Fulani that stole billions of pounds in the UK, they gave him a house arrest, but they killed Professor Abu Salim. They have come again with Mazi Alozie Kanu, but they are going to fail, because we are IPOB. Let it be known to the world that we want Mazi Alozie Kanu out healthily. We don't want them to release our leader to us when they have already seen that, oh, he cannot survive. So they will not say, okay, we have released him. No, we want them to release him to us now, because the message, the information we got from our leadership shows that our leader is dying slowly, and we don't want our leader to die, because our leader lives in the heart of over 70 million of people. It is our joy. They cannot take our joy away from us. Nigerian government is known for extraordinary rendition and the killing of great Nigerians who mean well for the people. We hereby call on this criminal government to release our supreme leader to us, so that he can go and take treatment. Mazi Alozie Kanu needs health treatment. The only person who can really certify that our leader is okay or is not okay is the lawyer. And they have come out to tell us his health condition, and even his brother came out to validate that. So we, the Ipob family and Biafrans all over the world, we are calling on the Nigerian government to release Mazi Alozie Kanu to us. Failure to do so, they should expect that the citizens of that country, that zoological republic, they are going to vent their anger. How this is going to happen is left for them, because a government that cannot obey its own court order cannot tell its citizens to be law-abiding. So I want to warn them, they should release Mazi Alozie Kanu to us. IPOB is all over the world. They shouldn't think that this is 1967 to 1970. They keep threatening us that they are going to deal with us. They will teach us the language we understand. We also know the language Fulani people understand today. So if they want it that way, we are not going to back up. We are not going to give up, because we are not cowards. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Wanda. Biafra, well spoken. Yeah, that not to the language they know, but what they should understand is that this Biafra restoration started since 1977 to date. We are still fighting it, and that is why we are telling the whole world, but do whatever they can do now to facilitate referendum to Biafrans. Talking about Ambrose Ali, do you know that the Fulanis, Okabibo, this is a prominent Igbo man. They killed that man because he has Ashima. What they did, they spread fleet where he was, and he gave up. We are taking record. We are not stupid. There is a clip Mazi Alozie played yesterday from our brother from Edo State, probably Benin, because he was speaking Benin. I speak Benin. I know, I understand Benin. I grew up there. Yeah. We know what that man said. That Igbo, we are going for retaliation. Only after dealing with them. Sudan will be better than them. He has led them everything. What the DOC is doing, we are bringing the one after the everything till the end of the time. Everything they are putting it down for us. They know what is facing them. We are not begging them like my fellow comrade did. We are only asking them to release Nnamdi today because also I want to give the Biafrans. We everywhere. Forget all this message that is. It's intimidation. That kidnapping that they are born at that no, when time come, that we no, you work in them there, no, like I rightly said, because Mazi Alozie will come up before Mazi Alozie say something, then we move to
okay. Thank you, great Biafrans. My name is Nnamdi, and today I want to stand on what Wade said. Because everything she said today shows that Nigeria has been a lawless country. That's exactly what Nigeria is, a lawless country. A country that doesn't obey their laws. A country that disregards the rule of law. Everything about Nigeria doesn't believe. They practice democracy. They feel that they are practicing democracy, but they never believe in anything concerning democracy. So when you look at it, you notice that she mentioned about Abiola. They killed him no consequences. A little riot. They killed it. Then you recall when they used their kangaroo court to kill the Ogoni man. His name has escaped me. But they killed him. They used kangaroo court to kill him. They murdered him. They used court to murder him. They also, you remember when the Nigerian government went to OD, they did not just kill men, they massacred a lot, even school children. Nigerian military gunned down school children in OD. Nigeria has been a lawless country. Nigeria doesn't respect its laws. And I believe that, you remember when Wari said that they are going to use courts, that Nnamdi Kanu should face court and defend himself in courts. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went to court. And they never believe that we are going to reach this thing. They never believe that Nanikal will secure judgment in the courts. They have already planned everything in such a way that we will never reach this period. Remember, we mentioned about them killing all these people without consequences. They know that Nanikal is not just a man. Nanikal is a man that have gotten a love of more than 70 million people. There are many youths that are ready. They are ready to stand tall in defense of him. That's the reason. That was the reason why they recruited a lot of agents in order to distract us, in order to make our people to start acting anyhow, so that they can use all those things to achieve their aim, so that court will not decide this case. But IPOB leadership was so calculative in a way that they tackled every of these people in a way so that Nnamdi will secure judgment in court. Now, come to think of it, you say that someone is a terrorist, and right inside your court, he secured a judgment. A judgment that said that he has committed no offense, that you should release him, or unconditionally. Now, even with payment of compensation. So now, you when you look at these things, you find out that Nnamdi Kanu has already secured judgment. But yet, today, the same government that said he should go to court is now the people running away from their own courts. Imagine all this while IPOB lawyers have already gone to Supreme Court. Till today, we are yet to get a date. And they are running away. Instead of releasing somebody that have secured judgment, now they are poisoning him. Nnamdi Kanu, they are finding a way to kill him gradually. Maybe they thought that there won't be consequences this time around. And sometimes I don't know who is advising Nigerian government. I don't know whether these people really have people in their security apparatus British is advising them. British, Tony Blair, British is advising them better. And I believe that they are giving them wrong advice. And I believe that all these British agents and all these people, I believe that they're supposed to have studied what is going on. Because today is not 1967, where you killed and lied to the whole world. Today, Biafrans have decided to be accidental journalists. Biafrans are all everywhere in social media. Biafrans are living in every country of the world. Biafrans are there to speak the truth of what is happening. You cannot kill Biafrans this time around and lie that they are rebels. You cannot murder Nnamdi Kanu in prison without consequences, because you see, this is not about all when they killed Abiola and nothing happened. This Nnamdi Kanu is someone that, in fact, you know, we have lived in Nigeria. A lot of people have lived in Nigeria without any hope. A lot of Nigeria have marginalized millions of people for more than 40-50 years. There are people that are supposed to work, but they are not working. All these people have rallied around in the hope that Mazi Alozie.
Network. Let's see you come back. My God, before it says so. If you're not coming, you can. Okay.
Hello.
Go on.
Yeah. When you try to kill Nnamdi Kanu in prison, maybe you want to poison him so that he will die there. You think that there won't be consequences. You know, IPOB have shown professionalism. IPOB have shown that they believe in democracy. IPOB have shown that they believe in the rule of law. Now, it is left for Nigeria to obey their own courts. It is left for Nigeria to understand that when these people that have obeyed the law and you decided to be savage, and barbarically kill their leader, then something must come in. People are not going to look at you, and because when you do this, the people now have every right to do whatever they like. So we are not going to wait for them to do. So I'm calling on Nigerian government to do the needful. I'm calling on Nigerian government because they are the ones trying to set this country on fire by not releasing someone their courts have already released already acquitted. So that's what I'm going to contribute today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mazi Alozie, if you have anything to say, come on. Before we go to our second topic.
Yeah. It's a very simple issue. Before I do that, I would like our people to draw a circle. Get a piece of paper and draw a circle. In that circle you draw, you put 3 arrows. You put 3 arrows pointing to
reconciliation, rehabilitation, okay.
Just draw a circle and you put arrows pointing.
Yeah.
In one of the arrows, you say the British government. The other arrow will be pointing towards Nigerian government, and the third arrow will be pointing to the population, Nigerian population. This is the principle by which they operate. The British government gives instruction to the Nigerian government, and the Nigerian government passes the instruction to the population. And if you do it around, the population feeds on the lies given to them by their government, and the government got the lies from Britain. So it's a circle of lies and deceit. It keeps revolving. If anywhere you interrupt that circle, you will have peace. As long as that circle continues to go round and round, it will continue. Now, all of you mentioned the people that have been killed because they have a political interest that will benefit their people. The foreign powers are responsible. And let's talk about our leader, which all of you have been mentioning and we have been mentioning. Why is Britain not talking about their citizen in prison? One, remember Katrina Long. You know, when she came to Enugu, she went back and then went to Abuja and summoned the police chiefs. What order did she give? Go to the east, kill them. Go to the east and kill them. Nothing will happen. After all, the report will come to my table and I will squash it. And that's what she did. And that's what she carried out. And that's what the government did. And our people looked on without reacting. That is why I told you to draw the circle. Any incident that happens, go back to that circle. Until that circle is broken, we must continue to go through this hell. Why? Because we have failed to hold our own people accountable. What our people I'm talking about are people like Oba, who brought the plane that they used to bring our Mazi, to kidnap our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Have we failed to hold him accountable? Why are we not talking about him? He and others like him must give an account. If anything happens to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are not going to let go scot-free. They must be questioned to account for what is happening. So that is where I bring my conclusion, so that we all have to think across the board on ordinary level, so that every common man will understand what is happening. So, okay, I'll hand over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi Alozie. Well spoken. We are taking record. Yeah, we are moving into our second topic: campaign against IEP terrorist index report on IPOB. Before we go in, I want all of us to know that Tony Blair is responsible. He is masterminding this index, this tag on IPOB. Tony Blair is stood. Like Mazi Alozie rightly said now, our problem, we are drawn it. Our problem is British, and they're coming here again. Mazi Madabuchuku, evangelist. Please, we are moving to our second topic, and as we are going there, continue to encourage our people, Biafrans all over the world, to continue to wait. Everything, all our press release from Biafra IPOB official website, and today is our tweet day. Evangelist Manaj, please take over this.
Thank you. We move. So, on this very issue of IP and whatever report of Global Terrorism Index 2022, do you know that Nigerian government submitted that very report to them because they are trying to hide everything related to Fulani terrorism and not every terrorism in the north, because they have Pantami. Pantami is a terrorist, but is a minister. They have Sheikh Gumi. Sheikh Gumi is a terrorist and the secret minister of terrorism in Nigeria. Sheikh Gumi, a minister of terrorism, he negotiates with terrorists. We heard about the Yamufu invasion. We have been hearing about the killings of people. We heard about the killings in what is it called? By Fulani, and they sponsored by Nigerian government in the western land, Yoruba land, and in the north. The Fulanis are killing the indigenous of the land because every Fulani in the Niger Republic, Burkina Faso, Mali, all of them there, they are more citizens than the owners of the land. So the duty is to kill people and take over their land. Then the government is creating ground so that IPOB will be the people to hold on their terrorism while they shed away Fulani terrorists away from every report. So what they just organized and submitted is to block the international communities from their conscience that they have been coming into the issue of free Nnamdi Kanu. So that is what they secured as a presentation that when anybody comes to free Nnamdi Kanu, they will now refer them to the global interest report that IPOB is listed among the terrorist group. You know, these things are their plan because it is part of the first agenda they discussed about Nnamdi Kanu, how to destroy IPOB. And you know that IPOB's activities are legal all over the world. Everything we do is legit because we are legalized. Then they could not be able to defeat us. When the killings of our leader failed in Kenya, the politicians from the east, he told them not to bring him back to the east. But after all, he was brought back to the north, where they kept him in DSS. But their plan is to make sure that IPOB becomes the victim. That is why the state governors have been sponsoring terrorism against their people in the east, especially those from the place they call southeast. They are the sponsor of all the terrorism in our land, only to give the goal and only to pass the result to Nigerian government to utilize. That is why the army is killing us. The army of Nigeria is a terrorist organization. Not today that the world knew. Fulani herdsmen are terrorist organizations. Fought deadly, yes. Mietiala is a terrorist organization. But the Southeast politicians, out of their desperation, they choose to make sure that IPOB is seen as terrorist organization in the world. Because they tagged us here, it didn't work. We are still agitating. Rather, the same thing IPOB told them when they proscribed us in 2017 is what is happening. We told them that you simply told the Nigerian government to come to any community in Biafra and kill us. And that is what is happening. When they kill you, they say you are IPOB. And that is what the governor brought to us. And that is what they arranged with their agent provocateurs, all the government agents, to be causing mayhem while the government is taking the reports to the international community. Today, they are the people that arrange these things for the government. Their names have not been mentioned. The names of the governors have not been mentioned. The names of the army have not been mentioned. But the peaceful IPOB that have endured the February 9th, we are telling we're reporting to that very IPE, what is their name, on their global index report. That's what I'm saying. For them to know that their report is wrong, because they didn't investigate anything. They didn't even know all these places or when this event took place that Nigerian government wrote and gave to them. This things was actually committed by Nigerian government with their agents, because the governors also are their agents, and those people they contracted to be causing violence are also their agents. We want to tell them that if IPOB want to be violent or want to act, it is not now that they are writing all these things. We would have started it on the first day of the killings of IPOB family members by William Biafra, 30th of August 2015. Would have started war. He killed 2, 29 injured. It is there. You go and browse it, you get it. Black Sunday, we didn't go to war. We are telling them those that get the report. We were also killed, massacred on the 9th of February 2016, while that is extrajudicial killing. We were protesting for free Nnamdi Kanu. While he was discharged, he have been unconditional release in December 2015. They continued to raid him. We gathered on the February 9th, and they killed us in Aba. We didn't go to war. We continued on our peaceful manner. We gathered in Ipob. We went in that evening of 29th of May 2016, ahead of 30th May 2016. Biafra Heroes Day Remembrance, which which held in Ipob. We were massacred from night till morning. We didn't retaliate. We were killed several times. We were killed in Emene by Nigerian Joint Forces. 23rd of August 2020. We didn't retaliate. We killed us. We didn't retaliate. We didn't retaliate. If Fanako had been killing us in Delta, we didn't retaliate. There was a bombardment of Asylum in Ipob. We didn't retaliate. Even the current killings of our people, even in Abia, Biafrans was the best position for IPOB to retaliate, because our leader was missing then. But we didn't retaliate. 7 graveyards was discovered. We didn't retaliate. Even the attack on IPOB on the 29th of 30th May 2016, those that was taken to the hospital around our nature, what they are not sent army to go and get them. They were killed. In the Onitsha barrack, there is a graveyard. We didn't retaliate. Graveyard of IPOB family members that was massacred in Ipob. Hope they are not going to order. There is a graveyard in the Onitsha barrack. Even now, the graveyard is there. Where they buried us, there, we didn't retaliate. Then how come the Fulani now wrote all the reports of the Fulani, and Nigerian government wrote all the reports of Fulani activities, terrorism, all those Shegumi is ministering, is their minister. They are their terrorism, and all the government agents, all the political talks, everything. That is why they bribed all the media that immediately something happened, they will say it's IPOB. But IPOB is not violence. If we are violence, since the court have ruled and discharged Nnamdi Kanu, we would have gone into violence. We insisted, and we approached their court again. We continued, and we have been in federal high court. We didn't go to war. Then we are discharged. Today, our leader have been poisoned. We didn't go to war, that one will lead us to war if they continue to do that one. But we are telling them, the world, and those that organize those rubbish and wrote it and submitted to them, that in the north there are 7 terrorist groups organized by the Nigerian government in the north, and they have been shifted to the east. They are killing in the east, they are killing in the west. But all their activities, when they burn down police station, and they put the political talks and their agents, when they burn down police station, they will rush and say it's IPOB. When they burn down INEC, they will say it's IPOB. All these things was planned by the Nigerian government, and have been supported by 7 governors. They are the people that plan these things. So we are not terrorist organization. The very report is wrong, because IPOB should not be listed. They cannot give us evidence of what we have done. We never called for no election. We never attacked any election gathering. We never attacked any politicians. We even cancelled our sit at home that Anambra election mistakenly fall in the days. 5 days sit at home from 5th to 10th November 2021 was cancelled by Nnamdi Kanu, because even we didn't call the sit at home for election, but unfortunately the election was on the 6th. So What actually we have dodged everything that will connect IPOB to violence. IPOB now become suspended when they start to and shifted it to his day of court. That is to say, we have distanced ourselves from everything concerning violence and terrorism. Then the plan of the government is to justify the activities of Fulani terrorists because they are their people. They brought them from foreign countries to occupy the lands of the owner. Now, the owner of the land is now tagged terrorists. But the foreigners that are killing the owners of the land, they are not terrorists. They are being pampered. Abakiare, the matter is not raised, they don't raise the matter. Tell me an Igbo man that will act like Shekumi, they tagged IPOB. And if anybody, they started accusing politicians in the East, you are supporting IPOB, you are supporting IPOB, we will arrest you. They were only doing that to make sure that they pack all the politicians at the backyard so that they will not even speak on behalf of IPOB. But these very coward politicians, they can see Shekumi, the terrorist minister, defending terrorism, defending their boys, defending those they brought from Niger. But all they do here in the East is to position IPOB. But Shekumi has been even custom supply food items to terrorists in the bushes in the north. Northern terrorists, Fulani herdsmen, Fulani terrorists, they supply them food. Fulani herdsmen attack rail lines. Fulani herdsmen attack passengers. Fulani herdsmen attack communities. Fulani herdsmen destroy farmland. Fulani herdsmen rape women, even 70 years old. Fulani herdsmen will rape and kill. Fulani herdsmen will kidnap and collect ransom. Fulani herdsmen, their crimes are uncountable. But IPOB remains peaceful. But what they did, they will fail. We are forming the are not terrorists and we have never been involved in any terrorism acts. Thank you from here. That is where I've been stopping for now.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Well spoken. Go to train attack everywhere. Fulani. Judge Money, please, our brother, come up. Mazi Judge Money. Watching again. Judge Money, mute yourself, no? Okay, if Judge Money is not forthcoming, Mazi Patrick, please, unmute yourself.
Mazi, thank you for thank you for the opportunity once again. I've listened to my comrades and their points are very clear. We all know, you see, we coming here to shout and raise our voices. It's quite, it's part of it. But no, everybody knows the truth about what is happening in that contraption called Nigeria. Everybody knows that there is a lot of injustice, there is a lot of evil and atrocities that are going on there. But, you know, as long as it has to be meted on Biafrans, the world is not worried. The world is not worried. The world doesn't care because, after all, your politicians are not even speaking up for you. They are not taking a stand on issues, you know. So, the other day I was listening to some people talking about the value of human life in the zoo called Nigeria. And I said, what value do you want the world to place on you when you don't place value on yourself? You know, so at the end of the day, you find out that the problem that we have as a Biafran people, the problem that we have as Igbos is that we do not have people of integrity speaking out because of fear. That fear is what Mazi Kanu have put by the side to speak out. Because those who are supposed to be speaking out cannot even imagine themselves making the kind of sacrifice Mazi Kanu is making. Nobody is ready to make that sacrifice. It is even cheaper to be on the side of the oppressor than to be against the oppressor. Now, IPOB have been, with their fake global index rated as number 3rd terrorist organization in the zoo called Nigeria. And this is what they have been pushing for. This is what they have been pushing for. All this while, because they believe that the moment they're able to succeed in doing that, this struggle for Biafra restoration will dissipate. People will no longer have the courage, because nobody would want to be tagged a terrorist, especially when you are not. But they have failed at every point. If up till now, the Nigerian state, the Nigerian court have not been able to convict one IPOB member, the Nigerian court, the Nigerian judicial system have not been able to convict any IPOB member of terrorism. So where is their fake index coming from? Because we have seen Nigerian states, charging IPOB members, charging members of indigenous people of Biafra for terrorism, but they have not been able to come up with one conviction. So when you even look at that, their whatever index they have put forward, there is no reference of any IPOB member that have been convicted of terrorism, not in Nigeria or in the diaspora. So this is the reason why I tell our people that it's all propaganda. It's all propaganda. There are no basis. Okay, look at the Dora Akuyeli husband that was murdered, and IPOB was being fingered to the killing of the doctor. Just this week, the report came. The report came exonerating IPOB, and these are part of the things that built up this terrorism index. Part of this Doraku husband case was part of the thing that were considered, and at the end of the day, it had not been proven that it was politically motivated. Mazi, I don't know if you are getting my message. So I believe that Biafrans are also getting the message. People, the Nigerian government specifically and the politicians specifically sponsor crime, hide under the agitation of Biafra to paint IPOB a bad name and carry out their nefarious activities for political purposes. So for me, it is completely absurd that people are even considering that report as anything to write home about. And I believe that we are dealing with it. Gradually, we are dealing with it. It will be taken care of. And I believe that at the end of the day, it's all going to come to null and void, because IPOB have pursued the path of peace, and we have continued to say that our request is simple. Give us a date for referendum. Give us a date for referendum. That's all. Give IPOB a date for referendum, and we'll all decide whether we want to remain in this same contraption called Nigeria or not. You cannot force a people to remain in a country by force. Association of living in a country should be by voluntary decision of the people. It's not something you force people to come together, and not just forcing them to come together. Continue to oppress them, continue to deny them their rights, continue to deny them of their existence is completely unacceptable. And Mazi, I can tell you that the victory, we are doing the job that we are supposed to do. We'll continue to push in the media, we'll continue to break all their jinx, we'll continue to break all their hands and legs, just like we are doing now, because I know we have what it takes. And this is the job Mazi Alozie has done all over the years. Why are they holding Mazi Alozie? What do you expect from the oppressor? What do you expect from the Nigerian government? When I see people say, what has Mazi Alozie done? Mazi Alozie have done a lot. He has done a lot. When they say that Mazi Alozie is terrorizing them, there is a reason, because he has been able to terrorize them through speaking the truth. For them, the truth is terrorism. For them, you waking up, somebody coming to wake you up from your sleep and slumber, they feel terrorized. So when you see them talking about IPOB being a terrorist, because IPOB have weakened the mind of people up. Mazi Alozie have weakened the mind of people up. And when oppressors are always terrorized when the oppressed wake up. So when you see them say, not terrorism in terms of we killing people, but terrorism in terms of we waking the people up to fight for their right. They feel terrorized. From history, look at in history, anytime that the oppressed wake up, the oppressor feel terrorized. And that's what we are seeing today. So Mazi, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you very much for, I have to start leaving you guys because I'm on my way. I hope that maybe next week I'll be able to rejoin back based on your program and schedules. It's my pleasure being with you here once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother, and be careful. The words spoken, but
yeah, thank you very much. Yeah,
Judge Money, can you? Judge Money, can you hear us? Okay, if you cannot, I want okay, go on, go on. No.
Okay, you know, I want to bring in a piece in this IEC claim of in the index, claiming that IPOB has come close to being a terrorist. I want to bring in a piece from what is called Universal Declaration of Human Rights. From Universal Declaration of Human Rights, can I please bring in this piece, please? Hello? Okay. All right, okay. The Article 6 of this Universal Declaration of Human Rights says everyone has the right to recognition. Everyone is a person before the law. Now, the Article 11 says everyone charged with a penal offense has the right to be presumed innocent until proved guilty according to the law in a public trial at which he has had all the guarantees necessary for his defense. Number two, no one shall be held guilty of any penal offense on an account of any act of omission which did not constitute a penal offense under the national or international law at the time when it was committed, nor shall, here. So now where I want to actually, use as my point of contact, no one is guilty until proven in the court of law. Just like our first comrade mentioned, all our comrades that was killed just because of a peaceful protest. We were killed during a peaceful protest, and they buried our comrades in shallow graves. They threw away the bodies of our people, dumped them in rivers. The United, Tony Blake Institute did not take note of that because one woman who is a British envoy, Catriona Lang, is actually covering up for Nigeria. And I won't say it is all on her because Tony Blake, it is his mandate before he moved, with any claim to make an investigation because this is talking about people's rights and the violation of human rights. Now, in this regard, in the World Index of IEC, which they are actually trying to indict IPOB, I can categorically tell Biafrans to go and sleep because it does not hold any water. Because everyone has to be, equal. In the Universal Declaration, it's just that I am also driving right now. I am not able to go to read that part. In the Universal Declaration, it says that everyone must be equal in the eyes of the law. Now, is Mazi Alozie equal in the eyes of the law? When they arrest Boko Haram, they give them amnesty, they give them gun and military soldiers, they post them to Biafra land, they continue to kill our people. The reason why they actually created Agent Provocateur when they kidnapped Mazi Alozie was to see if we are going to exhaust all our resources and we get, when they continue to shout, thinking we will join, force with these, criminals, that they will actually make us to deplete all we have, and we will now grow fatigue while at it, and they will use the opportunity to destroy Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But they failed, and having seen that they failed, that is the reason why Ohaneze Ndibo is coming in now to warn the agent provocateur, because it has touched them. It has evil that men do will always dwell with them. Coming back to the terrorist index, we have not committed anything that will place us in the terrorist index. Tony Blake, you are complicit in your work. And anybody who is actually, a freedom fighter should actually see Tony Blake. If Tony Blake Institute as some, institute that is already, compromised. If IPOB is appearing in the World Terrorist Index, they should see Tony Blake, Catherine Allen, as the leader of terrorists in the whole world. Because IPOB, we have made our stand clear that we run a discipline movement and we value discipline, and that is the discipline, the discipline that we actually value is as a result we have not reacted even when court of competent jurisdiction released our leader. So before they actually call IPOB or even think about it, they should now see Fulani headers. As they're supposed to push Nigeria to actually, call them terrorists, to proscribe Fulani as a terrorist, Fulani header, because the amount of people, these people that have shed their blood, decapitated their body parts, they mutilated their body parts. I don't know reason best known to them. The Tony Blake Institute, which we tag in every day of our tweets, they are not seeing it because they are complicit. If indeed they have taken the name of IPOB to the IEC terrorist index, it means that Tony Blake is a criminal. I am saying it openly in this radio. He is a criminal. Because if he is not a criminal, he is supposed to actually advise Nigeria to proscribe Fulani terrorists first, before they will actually talk about IPOB. We are all over the world. We have a peaceful conduct. In every of our endeavor, we are disciplined. And because of this discipline, that is the reason why Nigeria is taking advantage of our discipline. Nigeria is taking advantage of us to kill our people, and that is the reason why, since they have actually called us terrorists, the only thing we can do now is to organize our people to descend the street of the nationwide, wherever they are. They should come onto the street and they demand for the release of our leader. That is the right of freedom of expression. It can never be denied. It is in this, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It is actually written here, which, one of the days I will bring it up. I will read it out in a program where we will have enough time. Now, in this regard, we need our people. And if any of these security operatives shoot any gun at any, it means that they have declared war that they will not be able to actually contain, because in this universal, human rights declaration, in one of its articles, stated in one of its that everybody has right to life, everybody has the right to defense. So, in that regard, it will be an act of self-defense. If our people descend the street to request for the release of our leader, we will be on the street indefinitely. The demand for the release of our leader. If any of them attack us, then we will now show them. And let me remind to the Black Institute and the Catherine Allen that whatever you are doing, when it starts, you will run away from Nigeria. That is as a result of what you people are bringing upon us. Our people are dying, and we are calling upon you people to actually do something, but you are not. All you people are doing is conspiring to be oppressed people in order the selfish thing that you people are getting from this Nigeria. But not with our blood anymore. We will not stand because we are scared of you proscribing us. If you proscribe IPOB, we drop that name, we use another name. Because the name is what you are prescribing. We will continue to this agitation. We will restore Biafra in our time. There is no Jupiter on earth that will stop us. That is our declaration. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave it here. I have a lot of discussion.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. Well spoken. Please, we have to give our sister one day to show appointment. So one day to what I told you, please stop mute. Become my sister. No? One day to please come up, and at the same time, as you are speaking, you speak on insecurity at the same time, because that will be our last topic. Touch it, and then you make a closing remark and attend to your appointment. No.
Thank you very much, Mazi. Thank you so much. Yeah. Talking about the index, the terrorist index of the GTI. We know that this is the first time that IPOB is appearing in such an index. And is unacceptable by the indigenous people of Biafra, because our activities does not suggest that we are terrorists. So whatever may be the reason why they did that, we are already aware, because terrorism is the unlawful use of force or violence against a people or a civilian. IPB as a people, we are responsible people, and we are indigenous people, a different ethnic group that becomes a people. So it is not possible to, proscribe an indigenous people as a terrorist group. So IPOB is doing everything that we are doing is under the law. We are law abiding. We are people who are holding, key positions in whatever country we are living in. We are very responsible people, and we have proof of that. So the Nigerian government, what they are doing, like our comrade rightly said, they are trying. Comrade Mazi Alozie, they are trying to use it against our supreme leader and to intimidate us, so that some of us will withdraw from the struggle. But no, we know that this is a strategy for them to be able to bring us down. The index, the terrorist index, is not recognized in any way by law enforcement, because there are two types of terrorism known by the law enforcement. One is domestic and the other is international. IPOB has never in any way participated in any domestic or international terrorist act. We have the Oduduwas who are our neighbors, and other Ipob, the Ariwas also. There is no time you see IPOB people, Biafran people go to the north to carry out a terrorist attack, or in Oduduwa land to carry out any terrorist attack. Whatever that is happening in Biafra land today has nothing to do with IPOB as a group, because the government of Nigeria, they are just looking for a way to put us into this index. Somewhere along the line, they try to use some of our people, like the governors are using them to blackmail this very struggle. So talking about the domestic terrorist act in Biafra land, there is no time or no organization, no government body, nobody can come out, to say that IPOB are responsible for whatever attack or crime that was carried out in Biafra land. IPOB itself has never in any way take responsibility of whatever crisis that is going on in Biafra land. Everybody knows that Biafra land has been under attack since 1967. There has been no peace, and the reason is because the world depends on the natural resources, the raw materials of Biafra land. So they are there. Their aim is to destabilize this land, so that the people there, they will set confusion in their midst. It will look as if the people are carrying a terrorist attack, but we know that we are not behind all this, and we are telling it to the world, so that the world also we know that IPOB are a peaceful movement. It's a peaceful movement. that is fighting for the restoration of Biafra through a referendum. Our leader is not a coward, he's not afraid. If our leader should want to go violent, if he wants to use arms, if he wants to go into armed struggle, he will say it. Nobody can stop it, because what we have gone through in the past is enough for us to even go violent. But despite that, despite the adoption of our people, innocent people who will just be wearing only t-shirt, they will adopt them. A lot of Biafrans as we speak are in prison today illegally, just because they are wearing Biafra t-shirt. So if IPOB really want to be violent, which is their right, they can do it. I don't think that the world can stop us. No, they cannot stop us. Now, for the domestic violence, IPOB is not involved in any of this. These people that they are bringing, they arrange them, they do stage interview, telling them what to say, and of course, thanks to our media warriors, we are always, coding their lies and the fakeness of whatever interview they are bringing out there. So IPOB has been able to prove to the world that we are not into a violent movement. We are not a violent people. We want Biafra through a referendum. This is not in any way saying that the index has intimidated us. No, not at all. It will not refrain us. It will not stop us from doing what we are doing, because we know what we are fighting for. Talking about international terrorism, IPOB are all over the world. Name it 150 of 60-something countries in the world. So there is no IPOB member that is known to be a terrorist or participated in any terrorist attack all over the world. So what is the use of this index? What are they trying to say? I don't understand. So we are here to let them know that there is no way you can proscribe an indigenous people. It's not possible. I could remember vividly what happened in France. I think it was in 2015 when the terrorists, they attacked about 6 locations in France. I think close to the stadium, they came, they attacked, etc., and they killed almost 200-something citizens or French citizens. So these people came, according to after they have carried out their attack, they said that the reason why they did it was because they did it because French government strike ISIS. They strike ISIS, so they came as kind of a retaliation. Biafrans are people who know their history. We know that the perpetrators of the 1967 to 1970s genocide is Britain. We know that Britain was behind it, but we have never in any way tried to go and attack any British territory. Never, because we have not done it in our own land. How can we not go and do it internationally? So why is it that they are now trying to say that IPOB they put IPOB in the terrorist index? This is a lie, and this is something that was fabricated by the Nigerian government. That is why we can see in recent times, since Mazi Alozie have been kidnapped, they have been bringing some people to come out to make some kind of false confession against IPOB. They have been cooking all these terrorist index, preparing it, so these people, they have been using them. That is why when the leadership say that we are not going to speak on a certain issues, we are not part of election, whatever that is happening, these people, they are attacking the leadership because they know that they are already carrying out this mission, and they want the leadership to make some pronouncement that they will be used against IPOB leadership. But we thank God for the wisdom given to this very leadership for them to be able to understand. They see things before it happens, so we are always informed on time to be very vigilant. So there is no way for IPOB to be, there is no reason for IPOB to be in that index. That index, just like Judge Money said, is dead on arrival. It's failed. It's void, null and void. So we are not moved. We are not shaped by it, and we believe that our leadership is doing the needful to make sure that the GTI they must remove IPOB from that index, because the index is fake. There are things that could make people, a group of people, to be tagged a terrorist attack, terrorist group. IPOB is not one of them. IPOB is not participating in any of these activities. IPOB is not attacking Biafrans. In fact, IPOB members, we are a people, so we don't attack ourselves. The people who are coming to our land to commit mayhem, havoc, they are Fulanis. We know all these things, and the governors, the politicians in Biafra land, they are behind the reason, the disaster that is happening in Biafra land, not IPOB. If IPOB is a terrorist organization, it will not be only in Biafra land. Our people who are in abroad, they will still be doing just like the ISIS. ISIS, they carry their attack at home and abroad, domestic and internationally. So IPOB has nothing to do with terrorism. IPOB is a freedom fighting movement, and we are indigenous people of Biafra. All we are asking for is for Biafra restoration through a referendum process. So this is what I have to say for this particular index. As for the insecurity in Biafra land, we know that it has been a very long time Fulani has been planning all these things. They have been looking for ways to make Biafra land look like the north, because they are not happy. Biafra land has been very, very peaceful. So for them, they needed to do something to trigger a kind of insecurity. That was why they went as far as bringing our leader, kidnapping our leader, holding him on stage, because they know if they remove our leader, this whole thing is gonna, insecurity will start. They can be able to have the access to destroy Biafra land, but it's not going to work out for them. Ever since Mazi Kanu has been outside, there is nothing like kidnapping of people, taking ransom, etc., etc. These people do not have, they cannot do that, because it's not just possible, because IPOB and Mazi Kanu was always, talking to the people. Our people love him so much, it's not that there are no criminals all over everywhere. There is no set, no country you cannot talk about, you cannot find criminals in any country. All countries have their criminal rates, but some countries are more. So what is happening today in Biafra land is the handwork of the Fulanis, and the reason why they are doing so, they want the world to see the Biafra land the way they are seeing the north, because as it is today, the north is in red index. The northern part of Nigeria, I was so surprised when the index came out, and I didn't see Fulani terrorist herdsmen there, because usually whenever we want to travel back to Nigeria, the French government always warn the zone in Nigeria where you should not go. The northern part of Nigeria is always included. There is nothing like the south. There is no time the southern part of Nigeria has ever been included as a red zone of danger where French citizens should not visit. But today, they have Fulani have succeeded in dragging IPOB into it, because they have their agent provocateurs that are working to achieve this end. But we are telling them that they have failed woefully, because it's not going to stop us from agitating for Biafra. We know we are not afraid to speak for our rights. This is exactly what makes us IPOB and what makes us unique. So the insecurity in Biafra land is being carried out by the Nigerian government, using through the governors of the governors and the politicians in Biafra land. When I say the governor, I am not missing words, because a sitting governor, Hope Uzodinma, came out and said it in the public that he knows the people who are carrying out the insecurity in Imo State. Of course, he is also one of them. So they are the politicians. It has nothing to do with IPOB. So we are calling on every Biafran to rise up. This is the time for us to rise up. We cannot continue to be talking and talking. We need to add action to it. What is your right? You have to take it. Use what you have to get what you want. Our voice is our right. Let us stand up. I'm just backing my brother, Judge Money, in what he said. Let everybody. It is time for everybody to stand up for a man who have sacrificed everything. His mother, he has sacrificed himself. He's not after material wealth. He's not after anything. The only thing he cares about is the interest of his people. Now is the time for us to rise up. I don't know what else we need. We are waiting for before we rise up as a people. They told us, Mazi Kanu told us his health conditions, how his health is deteriorating. people are still, you know, doing party, throwing that party, drinking beers and all that, celebrating. No, this is the time for us to fight for our true hero, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let us storm the streets. I am still insisting on this, that we have to storm the street for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is all I have to contribute for now. Thank you very much, Mazi.
Yeah, thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Wanda. Actually, Roberto is having problem, but in case if he comes in, we allow her to speak because her battery is done. But if you don't come, we are going to move into the our last topic, the same one, which is insecurity in our land. Insecurity in our land. Mazi, fearless evangelist, we are seeing on insecurity in our land, and as we speak, you make a closing remark at the same time, but in case one actually will come in, we allow her to speak because her battery is going down. Fearless evangelist, please, my brother. There were insecurity in our land, the court, if there's any solution at all for now, they will make a closing remark at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi, from here. And before I go on that, I will remind our people that we are trending DSS posing Nnamdi Kanu on Twitter. Also, in case they are not aware, we are trending it and we will continue. Those that have not tweeted should go and tweet according to your time and your working time and all that. Make sure you do not go allow today to end without tweeting. Just if you don't know what to write, write it with the hashtag DSS posing Nnamdi Kanu.
Follow that, just retweeting.
Go ahead. Or you retweet, go and retweet, that's all, you trend it. So we move. The insecurity in our land is very well known that it was planned just to make the victim to become the what is it called? The oppressors. So the governors are the fully engineer of insecurity in our land. If they are not fully involved, they would have shown us their communique by pointing hands, but they remain silent because their machineries are at work. And in other ways, they thought that they can make IPOB to become hated by our people, and they themselves, people will start loving them. It is no way. There is no way it will happen. This very fighting of criminals that IPOB have been doing, we have been doing it for how long now? Even ESM captures criminals in our land. Do you know that no governors have even applauded ESM because the war of ESM against criminality is against the agenda of the governors? Their plan is to make sure that our people are being terrorized because they listen to IPOB. So they now conspire with the enemy to come and be killing us, as if they kill us, we will not succumb to governors that have nothing to give us. So these people are in the project to criminalize our land. Do you know that even as their political talks are doing their job, these governors will also encourage the newsmen, the news houses to publish it that is IPOB. From their activities, you will know that they no longer tell us that political talks did this, political talks did this. So, to stop insecurity in Biafra land, we must hold our governors responsible, hold the senators responsible, state house assembly members responsible, because they don't raise such matter, which is to say their governors told them not to raise it because the governors are involved. If governors want to clear themselves from these very activities of criminals in our land, they would have shown their concern in all IPOB's activities and ESM activities to fighting criminality. Though the enemies they sent have tried to bring us into their criminal activities, we are being called names, the leadership are being called names because we rejected criminality. So this thing played in the eyes and the knowledge of these politicians, but they get to move because they planned it with the army to kill us. The army are part of the insecurity, the police are part, navy are part, custom are part, road safety are part. Everybody army is part of insecurity, civil defense, everything is happening in Nigeria, they are part of insecurity, but the chief of insecurity are the governors who will write to the government to send them army and police, and also they are paying them from the states. Do you know that after federal government pay them, that these governors will also be paying those they brought to kill their people? And the worst part of it is that they don't even know the army that they brought to them, because the armies are terrorists, which their name was not published when they said they were repented. So they repented and they came from Chad, they came from Mali, they came from Burkina Faso, they came from, what is it called? So many of those countries there, and they are terrorists, and the army captured them. Then the government recruited them into the army. Whenever any of these governors requested for an army or army personnel to be sent to their state, the only people they will send there are the terrorists. And they will bring few Igbo people to add to them, as we saw in Uli. Igbo man army was videoing. Then Igbos were busy destroying the Uli. And who brought them to Uli? The same agent provocateurs that try to force our people to what they do not believe, right? On the particular 2 days they said. So that brought that insecurity there. Nobody complains. Soludo didn't ask. Soludo didn't say anything. All of them are included, because when they started this insecurity, you can hear them gathering. Hey, they should stop Monday. They should stop Monday sit at home. As if they are not the people that told these people to hold on Monday sit at home. The same governors told them, though they had IPOB suspended it, shifted it to the day of court, but they insisted. They held programs on their radio houses. They do interview of people, and you see some idiot, they will tell you, hey, why are they killing their people? Is it because of Nnamdi Kanu? Is it they stop their people? But now that they have seen that IPOB is fighting the criminality, they have all hiding, because we are countering their agenda. So hold them responsible if you want insecurity to stop, because even agent provocateurs, they are the people sponsoring them. Even the checking points, the governors are sponsoring it. Governors tell them positions of checking point. Governors direct them to strategic points. Governors are the key enemies of our land, in conjunction with the local government chairman. Local government chairman are worse than the senators. They are the people that are working for the governors. In some of our Biafra land, the local government chairman are in charge of kidnapping IPOB family members, and it is their duty to find some boys or those informants that will be leading the police or army to point at IPOB family members. So all these people are involved. The traditional rulers are involved. Sometimes union presidents are involved in the insecurity. Some of them recruited people to be causing mayhem. Governors recruited them, gave them money, and their duty is to call up people that will destroy something, because there is a name that is fighting for their people. So anything any criminal committed, they know they will target on IPOB. Who created it? Agent provocateurs told them that anybody can come out and claim to be IPOB on DSM, because nobody has ever tried it. Everybody has been afraid to do so until the government told them to do so. Until the governors told them to do so. So all the kidnappers in the operations, they will tell you the IPOB, the ESN. All the bank robbers in the operation, they will tell you the IPOB, the ESN. All the pickpockets, everybody, the IPOB, the ESN. Even criminals that are in cell, if they caught criminal in Imo State, the only way for a criminal to be freed without being jailed is to plea to the army or police that I will claim to be IPOB or ESN. So immediately you say you claim to be IPOB or ESN, that is when you will be discharged. So immediately you act the film, they video you will be left to go. So that is how they do it. These things have been, they conspire it together. All those Kanu is part of the insecurity. Happening a lot under insecurity. Fulanis that he brought them, he don't know them, he don't know how many they are, he don't know how many the population of those, but he brought them. He also brought army to have them up. Army have been killing us, and he come about to say it's time for Nnamdi Kanu. Somebody that call army for ESM that Nnamdi Kanu launched. He now go to stand shorty for Nnamdi Kanu that he hates his children. You hate ESM, you will stand shorty for Nnamdi Kanu, the father of ESM. That is to tell you how dubious and how wicked they are. This is somebody that is killing your children. He now say he will start shorty for you. So these are part of the insecurities, these very people. So and we must stop them. They are puppets. They don't have control of themselves. They open these ways for criminality because there is a name they can target IPOB. If not, they don't allow them. Criminals answer their name. That is why you saw them acting film. Most of them are trying to distance himself from the killing of the local government chairman of Ipob. Most of them are killed the man. That's why on that very video, imagine people killing somebody and they are videoing it. That is to say it is for a very serious intention. They were busy calling Opozadema to distance Opozadema, but Joe Opozadema was the planner. He is the one who killed the man. And on the process, they told him he rejected Biafra. You know, these things are planned deal. And on the process, he told them, we are not IPOB, we are not ESN. Who asked you? Who actually asked you? Have you seen our criminals tell people their identity? Now, if IPOB is committing crime, do you think they will commit it with their name? That was why they changed to that very pattern. That the criminals will tell you, I'm not IPOB, I'm not ESN, and nobody asks you. Do you know why? All the allegations against IPOB before the international community, they told them that IPOB cannot be committing crime in their name. That is why they now come in the conclusion to say, okay, it is better now that criminals will say they are not IPOB, they are not ESN. It is a mind game, so that anybody that hear it will say, okay, he wants to deny. He's the one. So thank you, Mazi. So that is what I have for now. The politicians are the engineer of insecurity in our land, and they must be held accountable and responsible, and we must have to stop them. Thank you. From here, I thank Biafrans all over the world. They should continue to, and people should focus on IPOB press release and our leading IPOB lead council press release, because and the powerful press release and Radio Biafra. Any channel you will have to listen from to it, because things will be happening at any time so that you get information. Forget gossip and focus. Thank you. From here, I remain the fearless IPOB evangelist. Thank you.
Mazi, thank you. Well spoken, my brother. We're rounding up. And before you go, like you said about it, that the same thing, you can see the killings. I don't know if you people in Biafra land are hearing that. The whole of Amiri is in Awo, that's in Oru East. All those areas, there are a lot of killings. Reports are coming. They are calling. Go to Amanachi, Oboro, Iyoma. All those also area, the whole of us is going worse in Amiri. And this is where the bag, whatever they call him, their head, Ogun Mozambique, is from Amiri. And the killings are still going on there. You can see how they're going. What is happening in that Imo state, especially in Norno, is the clash of the titans. We always saying this. Hope was Radima have his own people. Killer squad. Chinasa 180 them. All those retired governors, they are Hakimu, Okrausa, all of them. COC Akorisa, the chief judge of Imo State. He is from there. He has his own men. You can see the videos inviting people. Those of them that outside Biafra land is calling them to come down and start burning her. People he sent money, 150. He's giving people money. The video, everybody is hearing the voices. So when we talk about insecurity, those are our politicians, those are allies that are inviting the Fulanis, our enemies from outside. These are not Nigerians. These are foreigners. Who most of them are testified in Njaba. Many times I wanted to bomb them because of the student. That's the whole. And that I can see what is in there in Njaba. But we are getting there. Thank you, my brother, for coming. Mazi Judge Money, please, it's only two of us there. Just take 5 minutes and make a closing remark. touch down on this insecurity in our land, and they make a closing remark. And at the same time, encourage our people to follow and tweet all IPOB press releases from our official website and continue to tweet tweet Tuesday.
All right, thank you very much for the another opportunity. Talking about the insecurity in our land. Before we go there, we are encouraging all IPOB family members worldwide to continue to tweet, and don't forget our Twitter Tuesday. That's when we get our messages across the international community. On that Twitter Tuesday, don't forget to continue to tweet our press release and the website, which will contain our press release. Don't forget to actually share it across the social media or wherever platform you are using. Share our press release. That is from there the whole world will actually understand what we are doing, because the reason why the agent provocateur has been there and trying to copy everything we are doing, it is because they want to actually make it look as if we are the one. But for us to actually overwhelm that narrative, we must actually be up and running. Whichever press release that is released by our DOS or our Legos team or our media publicity secretary, more powerful, we must not forget to tweet it. We must not forget to share it around and tag all the international fraternities and international communities, so that they will hear our voice and know our stance in every activities of the enemy in Nigeria and in Biafra land. So coming down to the insecurity we are facing in Biafra land, of course, the insecurity we are facing in Biafra land, it is plain to see. Because if you ask a question, where are those terrorists that has been, released from Nigeria prison, and there are those whom they actually, adopted a program for, where do they take them to after the program, after the so-called rehabilitation? They take them into the military, because according to Nigeria, they are actually building up a military group of terrorists that will bring Islamic State to Nigeria. So using some of these governors from the east, the reason why actually you see the rise of insecurity in Biafra land, and the reason why they actually went to make that move of extraordinary rendition against our leader, it is because the insecurity has reached its peak in the north. So for them to actually not, for them to shy away or from the responsibility of tackling insecurity in the north, and for them to protect Fulani and Boko Haram in the north, that is the reason why they actually moved swiftly to go and kidnap our leader, rendition him to Nigeria, put him in a solitary confinement, set up an agent provocateur. After that, they now deploy military, they now deploy criminals, they now deploy all these political talks. They start killing our people in Biafra land, so that when you look at it, all the attention and focus of the world will be going to Biafra land and not what is happening in the north. So that the Fulani and their terrorist group and the Boko Haram will be actually, people will actually stop hearing about them, because when anything happens in Biafra land, the report escalates. But when it happens in the north, they underreport it. Because if you look at even the index, the terrorist index, you will understand they say that the killing of people even in Nigeria declined by 90-something percent by terrorists. You will be asking yourself, where are these people getting these numbers that they are presenting to the world index? Are they getting it from Garbashev, or are they getting it from Catriona Land? Who is that person giving all these people all this false information? Because if these people are on the ground, we have no media house that is very objective in their reportage. So we have no media house that will go out there to investigate and give you a good number of what is going on in Nigeria.
So how are they getting this number saying that the death toll has declined, the attack of terrorists has declined in Nigeria? Because they have taken it down to Biafra land systematically, so that you will forget what the Fulanis and the Boko Haram is doing in the north. Don't forget, the attack on Boko Haram is attack on the northern people. The attack on Fulani is attack on the northern people. That is the reason why Gumi is actually openly protecting these entities, protecting them. The killer organization, Gumi is negotiating. Anybody who is standing as a negotiator or, between groups, that person should be indicted. Now, we talk about the insecurity that is happening in Biafra land. We're not talking about the new Naira note that is being, disbursed to these Fulani terrorists and the Boko Haram and the ISWAP. They have the new Naira note, but in the bank, the citizens or the indigenous people, they do not have access to this Naira note, because all they are doing is to make sure that they cripple your finances, so that when they bring this Islamization war to you, you will have nothing to actually use to defend yourself. That is what these people are doing. But the only problem we have in our land is those criminal politicians who are very, very stupid. The likes of Opus or the Madevomai, and among all of them, that are allowing Fulani to deploy their army of conquest to come and be clearing road, killing innocent people, while they are claiming that their agent provocateur is provoking them, when they are the ones who place this agent provocateur. But now I am going to advise indigenous people of Nigeria one thing. The evil that men does dwell with them. If you actually are keeping quiet as per what is happening in Biafra land, the inhuman and the treatment of Nigeria against Biafra, it will surely come to you. You never saw the one that is happening in the north coming, but it is happening now. The media is actually assuaging it to make it appear as if it is not, what it seems, but it is bad in the north. It is still bad. So, hope Usodimma, just like our comrade said, that one of these people who killed this guy that looked like Idato South, the man that was killed there, our dear comrade made a very, very intelligent observation. There is no way a criminal will come and tell you, we are this one, we are this. These people, they actually call the name of IPOB just to indict them, because these are actually political talks that we are set. They know that if they say that we are IPOB, it means that no one will take them serious. So they have to actually come indirectly in a reverse psychology to actually indict the name of IPOB. But all those things they have done, as long as we are continuing to tweet everything that our media publicity secretary is doing, is actually presenting to the world, we continue to share it across the nations of the world. We continue to share every broadcast coming from our leadership. We continue to share information so that people will be well aware of what is happening. We do not care about the rest of the things, their terrorist index, because it will not stop us from achieving our freedom. I am very, very optimistic that this Biafra, we are going to get it. And regardless of, we just up to you to, what are you willing to sacrifice? Like I have actually advised our people, the only way to release our leader today, tomorrow. You see the way you end SARS, that is the way you will release our leader today, tomorrow. And we give, IPOB, I am calling on the leadership, in case if this revolution movement starts, we need to say, give, security to our people. If anybody actually intimidates them, because it is in their rights. Even in the United Nations, in the United Nations Human Rights Charter, it is there. You have right to, freedom of expression. So you must express yourself, express your grievances, show the world how you feel, because when you are there, it is only me, Kenga Chalugo, and Mazi Alozie, and among others, Mazi Patrick, Mazi Metusela, all of our comrades in the media. it is not enough. We need more voices. If you descend the street of Nigeria and Biafra, you will see things is going to change overnight. I still remain your able servant, Judge Money. I still lend my voice to continue to campaign for this struggle, and I know narrow is the way, and that narrow road is what we are taking. It is very, you will see thorns, you will see challenges, you will see intimidations, you will see, oppressions, you will see people asking a lot of things. You will see many things. So don't worry about what you are seeing today. Focus, keep your eye on the ball, because we are going to score that goal. Because all these things they are doing, they are indicting themselves. Don't worry about the World Terrorist Index. Whatever we are doing, as long as we still remain law-abiding in every country of the world where we are domiciled, we know what we are doing. We know the law. We know when we are going to contravene the law. If we do anything that contravenes the law, we know. But for now, we have not done anything. We will continue to be, move in the line of discipline. We use the law to actually eliminate this tyranny called Nigeria. And that is taking onto the street and demanding for the release of our leader. That is one thing we must do. I still remain your servant, Judge Money. Thank you very much, my great comrade, Mazi Alozie, for this wonderful opportunity. I salute you all, Biafrans all over the world. Thank you for joining us. Bye for now.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Yeah, Biafrans all over the world. You've heard it, all of them. But don't forget what our leader told us, Mazi Alozie. Everything, he put it in paper for us, and is written in the tablet of our house. And then we made us to understand that wherever Katrina land goes, death follows her. And everybody know how this woman are doing around Biafra land everywhere, both in the north, dancing within the north. Why she did this is because of the resources that are collecting there. Now, if you go to Sanfara, like the video have been going viral, you know that Sanfara have gold. They have all the resources. Even they have a Dubai market. It's a good market in Dubai, which we do not know. But as liberal said, now what I am now, every kind of our eyes everywhere. Now the money is circulation. Let us go to COVID-19, 2020. And people get all those money that we are collecting in America, gave them a lot of billions. Germany, European, they are making money. Some give them 2 million, some give $1.5 million. All those money plus all the loans they are taking. Now, you have seen how they stock that money, how they pack the money in nylon. You have social media. Are you not seeing it? This is the money that is in circulation now. They are trying to circulate all of us. But what we are telling all of you, Biafrans all over the world, continue to remain focused, continue to follow the leadership, and continue to tweet now to this Tuesday. All our bloggers, all the broadcasters, all our medias in your different platforms, continue to advise your listeners to listen to and tweet Ipob press release from official websites. Some of you want to go in another day. Don't want to get one. Every that see Nimba will know this. I work here. We very well work that thing. The only thing Fulani is afraid. Of course, they know I like a idea. So Mazi Alozie, I will thank you. We thank Biafrans for listening all over the world. Fanaticals, men and women of all over the world. We will continue to appreciate all of you. Keep your eye on the ball, remain focused. We'll come your way again, same time, same station, next week. Mazi Alozie there. Like I said before, Sochuma is not coming on the air. You know what to do. Thank you, Sunday. Biafrans, thank you. Thank you.
You're listening to live broadcast from Radio Biafra USA, and as you know, this is the end of their program, and We are opening our lines for all those that want